Hello, hello, my friends. It is time for my November candle chat. I should say early November, but we are already to mid-November. Hard to believe. So I'll hope to get another one of these videos up towards the end of this month, probably after Thanksgiving. But this is typically a series that I like to do twice a month on my channel where I sit down, I share with you what is currently in my burn rotation, give you guys some updates on candles that I am currently burning. Some I've maybe done some post-burn reviews on. A lot of these, you guys, they are in the queue, I would say, for those post-burn reviews. So yeah, just kind of like a little bit of a hodgepodge. If I have a haul, which I do have a haul from SNIF to share with you guys, I'll usually tag that on at the end of this video. But today when I'm filming this, I am a little bit up against the clock, which is probably for your benefit. Maybe I'll try to keep my words a little bit shorter. We all know I'm not very good at that. So feel free to grab a drink, grab a snack, settle in, get those cozy vibes going on. It's funny, the day that I'm filming this, it is actually still about 85 degrees. However, by the time I put this video up this weekend and going into next week, we are finally supposed to be getting some like fall, what is really more winter here in Arizona weather. We are actually supposed to get a couple of rainstorms coming through and daytime highs in the mid to low 60s. I am so ready for it. But today, we're not there yet. So I'm still wearing a tank top. But anyways, you guys, let's get cozy. Let's go ahead and talk about a lot of these candles. As always, everything that I talk about today, I will make sure that I have listed in the description box down below with any affiliate discount codes that I might have. And then what else will I put? Timestamps. I always try to make sure I put timestamps down there for you. So let's go ahead and talk about these candles. I think I'm going to go ahead and start out with some KRINGLE candles here. Now, the reason why this candle chat might be a little bit of an important one, I would say, is because we are coming up, in case you didn't know, less than 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving here in the United States, which means that we obviously we're going to sit around and be grateful for what we have, but it is kind of always been the kickoff, I would say, for a lot of retailers for their holiday sales. And so I fully anticipate, I have not been given any information. This is just kind of studying trends. I am somebody who actually loves to get a good sale. So I tend to follow sales trends. And just based off of most recent years, you guys, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some of the Black Friday sales starting this week. And so one of the things that I'm wanting to really provide you guys with in this video is some kind of like initial feedback on some fragrances. So that way, as you are seeing some of these sales, trying to make some determinations about whether or not candles are worth the buy or not. So we're going to go ahead and start out here with a fragrance from KRINGLE Candle. This is the scent Cozy Christmas. Now, this is not a new fragrance. This is one of their 3-wick vessels. Cozy Christmas has fragrance notes of firewood, Nordic cedar, nutmeg, orange rind, and vanilla bean. Now, I actually have 2 of these 3 wicks. I have this one, and then I have one more in my stash. Now, this fragrance to me, you guys, I feel like is their attempt at Bath & Body Works Winter. Is it an exact dupe? No. It is a cousin, and I do like to burn this fragrance alongside actually Caramel Sundays Home for Christmas, which that fragrance, if you are looking at the Caramel Sundays restock next weekend, Home for Christmas is a more spot-on dupe to Bath & Body Works Winter, whereas this feels like it's a little bit more of a cousin. But again, if you like to burn more than one candle at a time, they are complementary. This also pairs really nicely with a lot of orange pomander type of fragrances. But this has got kind of that like woody, smoky vibe going on, but I do detect a little bit more orange in this one. It's not as orange heavy as, say, like Away in a Manger or Vintage Pomander, but there's a little hint of citrus in the background. What else are they saying here? Nutmeg. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting how they say orange rind, because that's what I would classify it as more, whereas like Away in a Manger or Vintage Pomander are more like juicy orange. This is more like the rind of that. But there is some woody element to this. I also think that this fragrance would pair really nicely with Snowy Bridge. That's another fragrance I keep waiting to see that one go on sale in the 4-wick format for me to pick out, because I've always loved that fragrance, but I've previously had it in 2-wick formats and it hasn't been very strong, so I want it a little bit stronger. Now, here's the thing I want to give you guys a little bit of warning on with these 3 wicks, because I don't know if at the time that I'm filming, if these are still on sale for $13. Last I checked, Cozy Christmas was still available in this 3-wick format, and it was on sale for $13. This performs really well the first half. but I am now about 2/3 down, and this candle is starting to develop some of those puny wicks, which normally is not an issue with Kringle, but I have found that they're 3 wicks. I think that might, I don't know, I haven't received confirmation on this, but my suspicion is that that might be why they are discontinuing this specific 3-wick format, is because the wick performance has not been as consistent as their 2-wick performance or even their 4-wick. So I would just caution you, if you're wanting to get cozy Christmas, personally, you guys, just pick it up in the 4-wick. Even the 2-wick, I think the 2-wick might be a little bit lighter, might be okay in a closed concept. But I've been getting decent performance out of the 3-wick up until we started getting the puny wicks. I would say that it's probably about a 6 or a 7, not as strong as I would anticipate from a 3-wick. But again, if you like this fragrance, if you've liked Cozy Christmas in the past, if you like Bath & Body Works Winter, again, a little bit different, but a distant cousin, go ahead and get this one in the 4-wick if it goes on sale in that format. Another Kringle candle that I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on. I'm hoping to do a dedicated post-burn review on this one this week. The lid on this is a little wonky. It doesn't want to stay on. But this is the fragrance Christmas Treats. So this is part of that like 3 for $33 3-wick collection. It's a little bit more of like an economical price point. I had mentioned that this is them kind of using up vessels, packaging, fragrance oils, colored wax that they've already had on hand, and therefore that is why you're getting a better price point on these. But this is the fragrance Christmas Treats. Fragrance notes are fried pastry, cinnamon, brown sugar. Now, I mentioned when I purchased this that I was very curious initially to see if this was a repackage of Holiday Churro. It is not. It's a very different fragrance. However, you guys, this is really good. I am surprised by how much I like this fragrance. I might buy more of these. I'm a little bit shocked to say that because I'm somebody who likes to like really keep a handle on my collection. So it's funny because there's no apple note listed in here. And I think what it is I think it's the cinnamon mixed with the brown sugar in this candle is almost giving off an apple vibe, but it's not like a juicy apple. This, to my nose, smells very much like cinnamon rolls baking in the oven. Maybe not that yeasty bready component, but it's almost like the cinnamon roll filling. That's what I'm getting, which would make sense. The cinnamon and the brown sugar that you kind of put in the filling, that's what this smells like to me. It smells like cinnamon roll filling. And in fact, I was burning this the other morning and my youngest daughter walked out. She woke up and she walked out into the living room. She goes, "Ooh, did you make some cinnamon rolls?" And I was really disappointed to tell her, "No, I'm sorry. I have failed you as a mother. I did not make cinnamon rolls." Although, not to toot my own horn, but I make a pretty mean cinnamon roll. I can make cinnamon rolls really well from scratch. It's kind of something we do for Christmas, maybe more often, but then I want to eat it all. So anyways, you guys, this smells like cinnamon roll filling to me. It's really good. Performance so far has been very good for me. I'm getting good solid flames on it. They're not like barn burners in terms of like you're afraid to leave the candle, walk into another room. It's not that bad, but they are good, healthy flames on this. And strength and throw, good solid 8.5, almost 9 on this one. It's been very, very strong for me. So if you have been eyeing this Christmas Treats, if you like the thought of having a candle that smells like cinnamon roll filling, then I think that you would like this one. But wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update. If you've been thinking about that one, want to throw it in your cart, I would say go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and talk about some HOMEWORX candles real quickly here. This is the fragrance Garland Berry. Fragrance notes on Garland Berry are fir needles, holly berries, blackberries, and balsam. This has a pour date of July 12th, 2024. So this one's been sitting for a little over a year and a half. It's funny. I did not have a good performance with, what candle was it that I reviewed last week? Oh, it was Citrus and Spruce. First and foremost, I didn't like the fragrance. I've already decluttered that thing. I already got rid of it. And I had some wick issues on it. So if you missed that review, you can go and check it. But this one, I'm happy to say, you guys, these wicks are, they're like those little bit longer wicks. So I have been trimming them after each burn, but they're not getting excessive amounts of carbon at the end where you're getting the balls that like spark. Not having that, but I would recommend trimming the wicks. Very beautiful packaging here. This fragrance I have actually really enjoyed for this month. This it's not quite cranberry, but it is kind of like a It's holly berries, which honestly, you guys, I haven't really smelled holly berries. I do smell some of that blackberry note in here. It's giving a little bit, it's just a little bit more of a like unique berry scent, where this is definitely feeling like late fall. It feels like a berry note that is appropriate for this time of year in my mind. I'm a very seasonal burner. So fragrances like strawberry, blueberry tend to be very summertime for me. Whereas this fragrances like cranberry, even blackberry to some element, can be more like autumnal, transitional into the holidays. And this one is nice. Now, this is not a fragrance that I see myself burning at Christmas time. I do see myself finishing this fragrance up here in the month of November. I've really enjoyed pairing this with KRINGLE Candles Away in a Manger, a good orange, like orange pomander type of fragrance. Very, very nicely done. You do get a little bit of green note in there. That would be the fir needle, but it's not, it's not excessively green. This is more so like a berry forward type of fragrance. Very, very nice. So yeah, strength and throw has also been quite good on this one. I would give this one about an 8 in terms of strength and throw. It's been performing well for me. So that is Garland Berry. And then the other fragrance that I wanted to pick up here, because I have this in a luxe size, I am going to pick this up really quickly. Ooh, okay, I bought this way back during Christmas in July, I believe. This is the fragrance Making Spirits Spice. So funny enough, you guys, both Garland Berry and Making Spirit Spice, Slatkin & Co. did send me the room sprays in PR way back before Christmas in July. So upon smelling both of those fragrances, I actually liked them, which is what had me intrigued to go ahead and purchase them in candle format. So this Making Spirit Spice, you can see I haven't trimmed the wicks from my first burn on it. You can see I'm going to need to. They have definitely some excess carbon residue at the end there. Let me look up what the fragrance notes are here. You guys, this candle is really heavy. Fragrance notes on Making Spirit Spice. Fragrance notes are juicy orange, apple cider, holiday spices, and tea leaves. This has a pour date of March 29th, 2025. Now, burn was great on this one. Strength and throw was really good. I'm going to sniff the lid instead of like having to pick this up because my arms are a little tired from my workout this morning. This is nice. This does have an orange component, but it's interesting that they mention like apple cider because there is kind of like a cidery vibe going on with this. This is still very much like holiday, like for me. I like this scent quite a bit. In fact, I think I also have this in my hand soaps. This, what else is the other notes that I'm picking up here? Holiday spices, tea leaves. Yeah, this to me definitely smells like a hot drink. It's not necessarily like a total orange pomander. You know what this kind of smells like to me? I live out on the West Coast. I've lived on the West Coast my whole life. I grew up in California, and now I live in Arizona. But I have a friend who grew up in the Midwest. Indiana to be specific. And every year she hosts a little Christmas party for all of us ladies. And she has wassail going on the stove. So those of you who live in other parts of the country where you guys make wassail, you guys would know it's kind of like it's like a spiced drink with like, she puts like an orange with some cloves in it. And that's what this smells like to me. It kind of smells like wassail. So very nice fragrance. I do enjoy it. Again, I started burning it the other day. Performance on it, first burn, good solid 8.5, almost 9. It was quite strong for me. So I've been happy with that in the luxe. And I did want to tell you guys, hold on, let me put this down because I don't want to hurt myself there or break it. I wanted to tell you guys that I actually ordered another HOMEWORX Luxe vessel. It's not here yet. It's saying that it should be delivered in a couple of days. It is one of my all-time favorite fragrances from HOMEWORX. It was in a luxe size over on QVC, but it just became available over on the Slatkin & Co. website. I saw it quietly pop up on there a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, oh boy, I need that. It's not a fragrance I think that everybody will love, but it is it's a very sophisticated fragrance. So you guys can go ahead and comment down below if you have a guess as to what fragrance it is. But I will make sure that I share that with you guys. I plan probably within the next 2 weeks, you guys. I'm hoping to share with you guys like a collective candle haul, because I'm sharing a SNIF haul with you, but I've gone ahead and purchased more SNIF candles. I have a KRINGLE candle on the way that I purchased recently, and then another HOMEWORX candle. So I've kind of got a little bit of a collective haul going on, you know, that I know I'll be ready to share. But take a guess. What's my next Luxe candle from HOMEWORX? If you've been with my channel for any length of time, rack your brain and you might be able to guess. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about caramel sundaes really quickly. Caramel sundaes, you guys, I am so excited. So I've been taking an Instagram break. You guys know I haven't been on there in a little over, well, now it'll be almost like 2 weeks. Just been taking a break. And honestly, if you are feeling overstimulated and overwhelmed, I highly recommend doing it. Delete it off of your phone for however long, and you find that you're a little bit more productive throughout the day and that your mind is a little bit less cluttered. At least that's what I'm finding. So yeah, anyways, during that time, I did make sure that some of my other friends in the candle community, they have my phone number. And one of them, my friend McKenna from the Joyful Candle, she reached out to me and she said, Katie, she goes, I know you're not on Instagram right now, but I just saw that they are going to be bringing Dad's Fresh Cut Fraser in a 4-wick 40-ounce vessel for the November restock. Initially, it was only going to be offered in the 2-wick, but it's going to be offered in the 4-wick. They are also going to be bringing back Home for Christmas, which I just talked about, very similar to Bath & Body Works Winter. They heard you all loud and clear that you guys wanted that fragrance back as well, so that one will also be offered in the 4-wick. So yeah, anyways, Dad's Fresh Cut Fraser is coming back in the 4-wick. You guys, I have another video that I'm planning to put up this weekend that I'm going to be featuring this candle in. If you love a good tree scent, good, warm, woody, authentic Christmas tree fragrance, do not sleep on this scent. So the fragrance notes listed here are cypress, evergreen, cedar, balsam, and vanilla. And this is so good, you guys. I think closest comparison that I could possibly give this fragrance, it's got a little bit more evergreen to it, but if you like Bath & Body Works Vanilla Balsam, I think that you would like this fragrance. This also has some elements, though, of KRINGLE's Christmas or Time's Fraser Fir. So if you like Vanilla Balsam, I feel like it's like if Vanilla Balsam and Time's Fraser Fir kind of got together. That's what this fragrance is. It is so good. It's even better when it's lit, to be honest with you guys, because like when I smell it, I'm like, oh, that's a really nice tree fragrance. I like it. But when it is burning, it just comes to life. I do want this a little bit stronger. When I put it in the Hurricane, I get that strength, but that's why I'm definitely eyeing this in the 4-wick. Ooh, it is so, so good. Okay, and then another fragrance that I have been burning from Caramel Sundaes, and I hope that they bring this one back, maybe in their December restock when they are looking at, you know, fragrances that people might want to burn after the holidays. This is the fragrance Cranberry and Birch. This has kind of become one of like the quiet favorites for me from the October restock. Fragrance notes listed here are sweet cranberries, birch wood, vanilla, and pine. You guys all know that I really love the way that Caramel Sundaes does cranberry fragrances. And this is no exception. This is beautiful. It's that sweet, slightly tart cranberry fragrance that Caramel Sundaes just nails. But you get a little bit of a tree note in there. It is definitely more of like a birch. The pine is not overly piney. The vanilla tones down. I feel like the vanilla in this fragrance serves to tone down the tartness or overt sweetness that a cranberry can be, but it also does that with the pine. The pine and the birchwood can be very astringent as well. So the vanilla kind of brings a balance to all of it. But this one is really, really nice. And I'm going to tell you guys, this actually is very, very strong in this 2-wick format. You guys know that I typically like the 4-wick format with Caramel Sundaes. But every once in a while, some of their candles, even in a 2-wick, will perform really, really strong for me. This one is also, this has been a solid 8, I would say, in terms of strength and throw in this little 2-wick. So John and Sierra, if either of you guys are watching this, Cranberry and Birch, bring this one back for January. This is a really nice fragrance. I think that this is great for this time of year, but this would also be a nice post-holiday fragrance too, because there's a brightness to it. It's bright without it being summertime or springtime. It's definitely like more winter brightness, but I really, really enjoy it. Again, pairs really nicely with a lot of orange fragrances. That's my personal preference. And then another candle that I love from the October restock. You guys, I'm just going to be honest. Nothing from the October restock has disappointed me. I pretty much, I love all but one scent. And the one scent that I don't love is just kind of a like. It's the Frosted Gingerbread, surprisingly. I did a dedicated review on that earlier this week. I mentioned that to me, it's a little bit too sweet. It's a little frosting forward, which if you've been watching my channel any length of time, you guys probably know I'm not the girl that gravitates towards super, super sweet fragrances. I like a little bit more savoriness, maybe more spiciness in my gourmand scents. But for those of you who want a very frosting forward gingerbread fragrance, less gingerbread, more frosting, then I think you're going to like the Frosted Gingerbread. But the other fragrance that I am loving from my Caramel Sundays most recent haul is this fragrance, The Holiday. I know that they've heard everybody to bring this one back. You guys, this one is so good. So the fragrance notes on The Holiday are cinnamon, clove, cedarwood, balsam, berry, baked cookies. Now, I know that the intention was to have this be kind of a dupe for Yankee Candle's Home for the Holidays. It's not. Totally different fragrance. Home for the Holidays is definitely more woody and spicy, but I'm not mad at this at all. The berry notes that I'm picking up in here is probably a little bit of cranberry, maybe a hint of strawberry in there to lend some sweetness, but it's not like, there's nothing summertime about this. This is very much, again, winter type of berries going on. You get slight spiciness, like the cinnamon and the clove and all of that in here. It's not overdone. It's not overly spicy. Home for the Holidays is a lot spicier with those cinnamon and clove notes. This is definitely more of like a backseat. Slight balsam note in there. Again, it's just like beautifully balanced, all of those. And then sugar cookie gives a little bit of a gourmand aspect to it. But again, I feel like all four of those families, the fruit family, the gourmand aspect, the tree aspect, and the spice are just perfectly balanced in this candle. Now, again, this is not being offered in this, at least this fragrance isn't. This vessel is coming back next week in the November restock. It is going to be in Bakery on Main. Highly, highly recommend it. Now, the vessel itself is burning very well. I'm not having any issues with the wicks or burn quality on it. This would be great to be able to repackage once all of the wax is gone. In fact, it's funny because I have a big Bakery on Main sitting over there, and there is part of me that thinks I should get another one of these just because I feel like this will be nice for, like, I can use these as like as like a smaller hurricane for some of these smaller vessels. I don't know, or 3 wicks. Who knows, you guys? It's limited budget here. I don't know, you guys. We've got the holidays coming up, and then my youngest daughter, I'm actually taking her in for a consult for braces. So yeah, life's getting a little expensive right now. So I don't know if I'll pick this one up in the Bakery on Main just because I already have the big vessel, but I do love this gold vessel. This fragrance in this vessel, by the way, you guys, this is 9.5, almost 10 in terms of strength and throw. This has been the strongest candle that I purchased from that October restock because I lit this one the other day and I was getting ready in my bathroom and I could smell this all the way over in my master bathroom and it was out here. So yeah. Oh man, I know that they're planning to bring that one back next year. It's a beautiful scent. I see myself burning it right now. Maybe through the holidays and then afterwards as well, because it's just a beautiful scent. While we are still talking about Caramel Sundays, I can't show it because I'm still burning it over here, but I am currently burning Santa's House in the 4-wick vessel. That is another one that will be back next weekend in their restock. Love it. It is definitely like the base is very, very similar to Bakery on Main. And what I do find is that the first burn on this one, I found that what I'm finding with this fragrance is that it does take a little while for it to really start emanating all of the fragrance. I have found the strength and throw on these first two burns to not be what I was expecting it to be, but I will make sure that I give you guys my full post-burn review on that one, probably in a couple of days. I will make sure that I have that up for you guys prior to the restock next weekend, but I do love it. It's a little bit different than Bakery on Main in that there is some of that tree note in there, kind of that balsam note. But it's a beautiful scent, but I will give you guys more complete thoughts in my dedicated post-burn review. I will also, it will probably be down to the wire because I haven't started burning it yet, but Perfect Christmas is another fragrance that I know is coming back in the restock, and I do want to share some post-burn thoughts on that one with you guys. So, all right, that is Caramel Sundays, Kringle. Let's see, we've got HOMEWORX that I've talked about. Let's go ahead and talk about Yankee real quick. So you guys saw, what was this? Maybe about 2 weeks ago now, that I purchased the Yankee candle. I purchased a lot of the fragrances from their new Polar Express collection, and I've got some thoughts to share with you guys. I'll go ahead and give you the thoughts, and then I'll kind of give you a synopsis at the end here. So I am just going to say the strongest performing candle of the ones that I have burned yet. In fact, I've burned all of them except for the Polar Express. The Polar Express, you guys, I'm going to be honest, I'm not really wanting to burn it yet because that fragrance to me is definitely more of a January scent than it is a scent that I want to burn right now. But I will say the best performing fragrance right now that I have purchased, the one that I'm going to tell you, if you've been eyeing it, it's probably safe to purchase, is the scent Hot Chocolate. Now this has basically, on this new packaging, they've kind of summarized the main fragrance notes that you're going to pick up right here on the front. And so they have milk chocolate and sweet marshmallow. And I'm going to tell you guys, this smells like an authentic hot chocolate. There is a little bit of a lactonic note in there, which can kind of scare me off sometimes. But in this fragrance, it works. It definitely makes you think of, it's not like powdered mix hot chocolate that you put in with boiling water or, no, this is definitely like hot chocolate that is made with whole milk. But it's milk chocolate. It's not super deep, rich, bittersweet, or dark chocolate, which I appreciate. I'm not really a fan of those scents. I'm not usually a fan of chocolate scents in general, but this one is really good. Now, I was burning this the other day with SNIF's Mornings at Levain, and it was a great pairing. I do like this fragrance quite a bit, and this one was quite strong for me. I actually had it in a hurricane in my bedroom, and it was throwing out here into the living room. So other people have also mentioned that they've purchased this and that the performance has been very good on it. So I would say, personally, you guys, pick it up in the 2-wick. I would say, you know, we know that as we're approaching Black Friday here, Yankee is probably going to be offering some sales. You know, it seems like they're doing a sale every day or whatnot. But I would say go ahead and get it in this 2-wick tumbler because I'm going to tell you some experiences that I'm having with the 3 wicks. But get it in the 2-wick. This has been probably my favorite on burn, I would say, in terms of the performance. Another candle that I'm hoping to possibly get the dedicated post-burn review up for you guys, hopefully this weekend, possibly tomorrow, is the fragrance Balsam and Cedar Fireside. Now, fun fact, you guys, I actually don't really like the original Balsam and Cedar. For whatever reason, it's just never been a fragrance that I've gravitated towards. But you guys know, anytime they're going to put in Fireside, I'm there. I like this fragrance. This one is nice. I feel like the Fireside note is not too smoky and earthy, but it is something that adds a little bit of an element that takes down the astringency of it just being like, bam, tree note in your face. It lends a little bit of coziness to it. Now, I don't have the in-depth fragrance notes in front of me, and they're not listed on the bottom. But here's the thing I am going to say about this one. Strength and throw, I want it to be more, you guys. This performs best for me in a hurricane in my daughter's bedroom, which is one of the smaller rooms in our house. And even in a hurricane, I think maximum in a hurricane, it's about a 6 for me, which means outside of a hurricane, it struggles to throw a little bit more. Now I am going to go ahead and burn this before I film my post-burn review. What I'm going to do is I'm going to burn it out here in the living room again. The first burn I did have out here in the living room, and I would say it was probably about a 6. So a 6 might be where it tops out, but I'm going to try burning it out here in the living room again. And then film my dedicated review on it to give you guys like the most concise thoughts. But so far, you guys, I do like this fragrance. I think it's a nice scent. Is it anything like life-changing and I need backups of it? No. It's a nice tree scent. If you happen to like to purchase from Yankee Candle, I think it's nice. And again, I'm going to give you guys kind of like some summarized thoughts here after I finish talking about each one of these individual fragrances. The next candle that I want to talk about is the fragrance Believe. This is from their Polar Express collab, and the main notes listed here are cardamom and ginger. Now, I did mention this fragrance to me is very similar to if you liked the Boo Crew from KRINGLE, their part 2 Halloween launch, there was a fragrance called Boo Hoo. It was kind of a vanilla with some chestnut, cardamom. That's what this fragrance reminds me of. Not a spot on dupe. This is kind of like the less sophisticated little sister to KRINGLE's Boo Hoo. That's the way that I would put it. Am I mad at it? No. Is it a nice fragrance? Yes. Again, backup worthy? No. Now I will say, again, strength and throw on this one is just lacking for me, which in fairness, you guys, Boo Hoo was not a very strong fragrance either through KRINGLE. So I do think that it might be the fragrance notes that, you know, compile this blend. But this to me, I definitely get like a vanilla. I get some of that. The cardamom in here is soft, and same with the ginger. The ginger note, this is not spicy ginger, like hit you in your face. In fact, I wouldn't even really categorize it as ginger. It's kind of like a perfumey body care vanilla type of fragrance to my nose. But I do like it. Now, here's the thing I will say. I did make the mistake the other day of burning it a little bit too long, and I did notice that the wax discolored a little bit. And then also what ended up happening was I burned it for so long that the wick started to kind of get into that puny phase where you could see that the wax was getting sooty. So I did dump out some wax, and I will relight it to see, you know, to see where we're at. But again, strength and throw on this one, you guys. Again, in a hurricane, it's about a 5 in a bedroom. But without the hurricane, it's around like a 3 to 4. It's very low terms of strength and throw, at least so far. Going to give it a few more burns before I do a dedicated review on it. And then the other one, I somehow misplaced the lid, but this is the fragrance Conductor's Coal. This one has fragrance notes listed here of warm spices and wood smoke. And I did mention in my haul of this video, it came to me as I was filming it. If you are familiar with Nest Fragrances Charcoal Woods, this smells very, very similar. If you are somebody who likes kind of smoky, hearthy types of fragrances, you will like this. If you like, what's the fragrance? HOMEWORX' Winter Fireside. Not the same scent, but you would like this. This to me, though, what makes this a little bit different is that the coal note in here kind of comes across a little bit kind of resinous. Slightly sweet in a bizarre way. I like this fragrance. I actually like this fragrance quite a bit. I like this paired with a tree fragrance. I like this mainly at night. This is a nighttime burn for me. Leans a little bit masculine, but it's not cologne-like. Again, if you've ever smelled Nest's Charcoal Woods, very, very similar fragrance right here. Again, kind of the less sophisticated little sister, but I do like it. Now, strength and throw, once again, you're seeing a theme here. Not what I want it to be. Probably about a 4 so far on these first couple of burns. So I will keep it going, but let's see. This is the fragrance First Gift of Christmas. Now, I did do my dedicated post-burn review on this one already. This is one of their 3 wicks. Main notes listed here are brown sugar and sandalwood. Now, what's interesting about this fragrance, you guys, this one, when it is burning, reminds me a little bit of KRINGLE Candle's Mummy Marshmallow that they had in part 1 of their Halloween launch this year. There's something that kind of almost reminds me of like pencil shavings when this is burning. It's not as sweet. I do like this one more than Mummy Marshmallow, but it's still not like a favorite. I'm not clamoring to get backups. And truthfully, if somebody else wanted this off of me, that would be fine. The issue I did find with this one from the get-go was I was dealing with puny wicks from the outset. I did have to dump some wax. It kind of corrected itself a little bit, but even now it's funny, like the most recent burn, I can tell I dumped a little bit more wax because the wicks were getting puny. And when I initially just opened the lid here, I get kind of that like sooty wax smell initially. Now, as I keep sticking my nose in it, it's not there anymore. But just initially when I open it up, I do get some of that sooty wax smell. So far, it's not really translating so much when I'm burning the candle. Now, this one does have a little bit better strength and throw. I think I gave this one about a 6 in terms of strength and throw. But again, dealing with some puny wicks there, which are not fun. And then this is the fragrance Frosted Tracks, Icy Snow, and Fresh Cypress. Now this one, the wicks are actually performing well for me. I'm not having any issues with these wicks so far. They have been doing quite well. This to me is this is more of like a January scent for me personally. It's very outside, fresh snowfall, crisp. It's definitely like it gives you that cold air vibes. That's what I smell with this one. Again, a fragrance that I like, not a love for me. Is it totally unique? Nothing I've never smelled before? No. It's not minty. It's not peppermint-like. It just gives you kind of that like cold outdoor air vibe going on. Smells like there's maybe like freshly fallen snow. Not a ton of tree in here I'm not getting. But there's something that reminds you of kind of like something aquatic, not cologne-like, but aquatic like a snow. But this one, I'm not having any real issues with the wicks. Again, strength and throw on this one so far is about a 6 for me. But I will keep burning that one to give you guys some thoughts. And then I would say out of these 3 wicks so far, my favorite one has been Train Car Carols. We have aromatic juniper and cinnamon. This one's really nice, actually. I do like this fragrance quite a bit. Again, I think it's the cinnamon mixed with the tree note here that I'm really, really enjoying. This is a really nice fragrance. I really, really like it. I've been burning it as like a tree fragrance with some of my other like gourmands out here. I have like a vanilla or something like that, or even kind of like a spicy gourmand. Like I've been able to burn this with the new KRINGLE Reserve Gingerbread scent. I feel like it pairs nicely with that. But again, strength and throw on this one, it has to be in a hurricane, anywhere between like a 5 and a 6. So it's nice, but this one also wants to have those really small flames going, which I think, again, is what is affecting strength and throw on this candle. So if you're going to ask me still, like my favorite, if you want to ask like what's the safe bet in terms of like good performance, hot chocolate is going to perform well for you. So far for me, it has been. But if you have a smaller home or you're planning to burn these in more closed concepts, the rest of these, I would say even in my closed concept spaces, they're just not really knocking it out of the park. They still need like a hurricane in order for me to even detect them in some of the smaller rooms. Train Car Carols, I'm really liking that fragrance. I do really like the Conductor's Coal fragrance. The Balsam and Cedar Fireside I like. So I like the fragrances. I would say probably my least favorite fragrances, truthfully, on burn, it's that First Gift of Christmas. I'm not loving that one on burn. And I feel just kind of meh about Frosted Tracks, like, because that fragrance profile in general is not really like for me. So I don't know. That one can kind of, I don't really care. But Train Car Carols, I'm really liking that one. If you're wanting like a good like tree and cinnamon scent, I think that would be something that you would like. But here's the thing that I'm going to say. And this may be, again, unpopular opinions with Katie. Here we go. Yankee, all of these fragrances to me, you guys, and the packaging, pardon the pun, they just don't hold a candle to KRINGLE, Caramel Sundays, even to some degrees, HOMEWORX. Or SNIF here, like a new brand that I've really kind of gotten into lately. I can tell, and please forgive me, I'm probably going to turn some people off by sounding this way because it sounds a little bit snobbish. I can tell sniffing these candles that they are made with cheaper oils. It's a cheaper wax formula, that the wicks are not as high quality. I can just tell. I can tell again because I'm used to what I'm used to. Like, especially even if we want, like, I don't have it here, but like, even if we want to compare like this packaging, I did a review the other day of, Kringle's Juniper and Laurel. And I mentioned, look at the picture on that. The picture was just absolutely stunning. You know, compared to this is just like a peel and stick label that like has like, you can see that it's just a sticker. I could rip this off easily, which maybe some people want that, but it just seems like there's not as much effort put into it. And even some of these labels, like for the Polar Express, like this Believe one is okay, but it just, they look a little cartoony, a little clip arty. And so I think for me, like, I understand that there's a place for a lot of these fragrances. Obviously, you know, everybody has different price points, whatever. I just lamented about how I've got a lot of expenses coming up as well myself. But for me personally, you guys, I have always been somebody who is a quality over quantity type of person. And also, that being said, we are coming into a time of year where there are going to be a lot of sales. Like Kringle, we all know probably after the holidays, a lot of those fragrances are going to go 50% off. So I would rather spend $15 on a large sized Kringle that's made from a superior wax formula, superior fragrance oils, superior wicks. Like everything is just, it's better. It's a better quality. And like, I know people don't always want to say that, but like that is the truth. It's the same thing, but I'm going to be really honest. You guys know I don't have a lot of Bath and Body Works in my collection. And I know that I've been hearing from a lot of you guys. And also, to be honest, I've been talking behind the scenes with some people that I know work for Bath and Body Works. You guys, they're getting a lot of returns coming in because their stuff is just, it's not the quality that it used to be. Something has happened there. I'm just going to say it. I think something has happened where Bath and Body Works has gone seriously downhill on the quality. I went in a couple of weeks ago when they were running that $10.95 sale and I had a 25% off coupon. There was nothing in the store that intrigued me enough to even want to spend $8 on one of their candles because their candles all smelled very artificial, very cheap. Sorry, I know a lot of people don't like that word. They just did. They did not appeal to me. Most of their gourmands smelled like scorched brown sugar to me. And yeah, I mean, and again, if that's in your budget and that's what you love, like, I'm not telling you not to buy it. I'm just letting you guys know this is why you're not seeing on my channel a lot of Bath and Body Works. And truthfully, I'm probably not going to be hauling a ton of Yankee either because I, like you, have to allocate and choose how I'm going to spend my candle budget. And my candle budget right now, I'm just having better success with other brands, and I would rather allocate that money to go with brands that I know are performing well for me. So, and also, if you guys are new to my channel, another brand that I don't feature here is Goose Creek, mainly because something in their wax formula really, really irritates my sinuses. And also, I just wanted to add, the other week when I was in Bath and Body Works, I've never had this happen before, but after smelling all of those candles, I walked out with a massive headache. Never happened to me before. And you guys know, I have a lot of fragrance around me all the time. So yeah, I think that there's some things going on, but I will just say, if you've had your eye on more pricey brands, now is the time going into after the holidays that you might be able to venture in and give them a try. A lot of these brands are always running sales, you guys. You know, you just kind of got to start following the sales cycles. But maybe that's the time to go ahead and purchase and maybe reevaluate if you're like me and you're just not getting the performance out of brands that we've known and loved for many years. You guys, it pains me to say that like I'm not buying from Bath and Body Works a whole lot, or even Yankee. Yankee is an OG brand to me. Bath and Body Works for years I bought from and really, really loved. And truthfully, I know I've said this before, but on my channel, Bath and Body Works and Yankee videos, and if I did Goose Creek, would get the highest views because they are such easily accessible brands. But I just have to stay true to who I am, and it's just not worth it. They're just not worth purchasing and showcasing here on my channel. But that being said, you guys, I do know that a lot of my fellow content creators, there are some who do a great job of covering those brands, and I would always encourage you to check out some of them. I know Greg from All About Candles does a great job covering a lot of Bath and Body Works and Goose Creek. He's up in Canada, and he's hilarious, you guys. Like, I love his channel. He's hysterical. Summer from Fragrance Junkie, she also does a great job on a lot of Yankee and Goose Creek. So those are some people that I know do a great job with a lot of those. My friend Amy from Beloved Fragrance Find, she still purchases quite a bit of Bath & Body Works. So there's a lot of other content creators out here that can kind of float your boat, but always just wanted to kind of put that out there. Oh goodness. Okay. Time crunch. Told you guys. Okay. Last but not least, I did want to share with you guys quickly my SNIF haul. So I've told you guys, sign up for those SNIF rewards programs because they are so generous with their rewards. So they recently launched some holiday candles on their website, and I purchased 2 of the holiday candles, but while I was there, I saw that there was a candle that I could redeem some rewards points for. I think it was like 320 points, something like that. And I went ahead and did it again. The fragrance Mornings at Levain. I did get another one of these fragrances of this candle. Let me open up here and let you guys know what the fragrance notes are. Mornings at Levain. I've already done a dedicated post-burn review on this. Levain Cookie Accord, Sea Salt, Cocoa Resinoid, Chopped Walnuts, Creamy Orchinox, Fluffy Musk. It's an elevated take on just walking into a fresh bakery. They're making chocolate chip cookies, but the chocolate note is very, very subdued and in the background. You wouldn't even really know that you're smelling chocolate in this. It's savory, little perfect amount of sweetness. It's not perfumey, but it's elevated. Just a beautiful scent. My first one, I am having incredible strength and throw on, 8.5, almost 9 from this little 2-wick. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I got another one while it was available with the rewards. But another fragrance that I purchased is the scent Lost Claus. Bailey, I think it was you who said that you really, really love this fragrance. So these candles that I purchased, by the way, you guys, are in their 2-wick, 8.5 ounce vessels. These do retail for $46, so they're a little bit pricey, but again, use those rewards. And a little bit of a spoiler alert, you guys, I know this sale is over now, but earlier this week, they had a VIP sale. I think it was like their, hey, we're going to give you the Black Friday discount before we open up the Black Friday sale of 35% off site-wide. So you better believe I took advantage of that sale. I'm going to let you guys know. I'm just going to let you know what I did. But Lost Claus has fragrance notes of cardamom, cinnamon, nutmeg, smoked marshmallow, peppered gingerbread, vetiver, caramelized patchouli, and milky musks. Now this, to me, you guys, this is really nice. This is evening burn for sure for me. It's very sophisticated, leans slightly cologne-like, but I get some of those spices in there, the cardamom. There's a little bit of resinous note from like a vetiver. Yeah, patchouli, a little bit of patchouli, but it's not like overtly dirty hippie. The patchouli, I think, gives it a little bit of perfuminess. This is hard to describe. Cardamom, cinnamon, nutmeg. The cinnamon and nutmeg, this is not really like a gourmand candle to me. Smoked marshmallow, maybe a little bit of sweetness from that smoked marshmallow, but this is definitely like an evening burn type of fragrance. I've actually paired this with the KRINGLE gingerbread scent, and I've actually really liked it. But yeah, really, really good. So I'll make sure that I do a dedicated review on that. And then the other fragrance, I took some B-roll of it. It's actually currently burning in my bedroom in a hurricane, is the fragrance Old Saint Wick. Has fragrance notes of Siberian pine, apple blossom, which is like a semi-dry cider. That's how it's coming off to the nose. Rosemary, jasmine, fir balsam, sandalwood, and cedarwood. Whew. Here's the thing, you guys. That fragrance, love. Beautiful tree fragrance. It's a little bit different. It's definitely different than the Dad's Fresh Cut Fraser from Caramel Sundays. But I'm just going to let you guys know, I loved the fragrance so much that this week when I got that 35% off coupon at SNIF, you better believe I went and purchased my very first 4-wick candle from SNIF. I did purchase it in the Old Saint Wick. Perfect tree scent. It's a very like neutral tree scent. It's not overtly too warm. It leans a little bit more warm, I would say, like neutral warm type of tree scent. It's not cold outdoorsy. It is a stunning fragrance. I absolutely love it. Yeah, gorgeous scent. So I have gone ahead and reordered it in a 4-wick. Now I will let you guys know, my 2-wick, I did have some performance issues with it, enough that I contacted SNIF. I'm still awaiting for them. They have acknowledged that I've emailed them. They asked me to send a video and whatnot, and I did. I did deal with some puny wicks, which I haven't had that experience with any of my SNIF candles yet. So I did have some puny wicks, and I did have to dump some wax, and it was definitely affecting the strength and throw. I told them, I said, I've burned your heel away and your mornings at Levain and had incredible experiences with those. But in this 2-wick format, I don't know if this was a batch problem or whatnot. So at the moment, I'm waiting for them to get back to me, because I did let them know the batch number and just sent a little video of what it was doing. I will say that I feel like after the halfway point, it has corrected itself, and now it's starting to throw a little bit more. But even then, in a hurricane is how I'm getting better performance. So what I did was I went ahead and just put it in the, just keep it in the hurricane there. But I did decide that I like the fragrance enough that I'm going to go ahead and test it out in a 4-wick, just because I've never had one of their 4-wick candles. So when I do a post-burn review on that, I will do it on the 4-wick, but wanted to let you guys know, if you are looking at the 2-wick of Old Saint Wick, just know that I had some wick issues initially with that, but SNIF's customer service department, they're on it. They've been really good. So that's a good thing. So let's see here. Oh boy, I need to go pick up my daughter from from her activities. So it is time for me to wrap this up. Let me know in the comment section down below if if any of these are candles that you currently have in your collection, what you have your eye on. Are you ready to shop some Black Friday sales? Let me know. Again, hopefully this weekend, you guys, I will have a fun little video for you guys, hopefully where I'm sharing my top 5 tree fragrances with all of you guys, in case you've ever been curious. So if you don't want to miss out on that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Again, if you like this video, please hit thumbs up. I got to get out of here, but I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.